this lesson, I will be demonstrating 2 ways to make your own ear wires. For the purposes of this course, I will be using silver-plated copper wire. However, as mentioned in the Metal Choices lecture, stainless steel wire is an excellent choice for ear wires no matter what material you've chosen for the actual earring, because it's both beautiful and hypoallergenic. I have included a link to 22-gauge stainless steel round wire in the Supplies and Materials lecture for your use. You can, of course, purchase ear wires to use, but this is much more expensive than making your own. Buying ear wires also has the added inconvenience of running out and having to either make a trip to the craft store or, even worse, wait until a package arrives in the mail. The first style I will be showing you is the basic loop ear wire. To make a pair, you will need 2 lengths of silver-plated 22-gauge round, each measuring 2.5 inches long. After straightening the wire, make a basic loop at the end of one of the wire lengths, as shown in the basic loop lecture. Taking care not to disturb the new loop, hold it securely with a pair of chain nose pliers in your non-dominant hand. With another pair of chain nose pliers in your dominant hand, bend the wire just above the loop at a 45-degree angle toward the end of the loop. The loop and the rest of the wire will now appear to be leaning into one another. Secure the wire between the jaws of your bail-making pliers, with the loop facing away from the 8mm jaw. Form the ear wire around the 8mm jaw using your thumb to provide a little outward curve. You can also use a pencil, pen, wood dowel, or anything that has a 7 or 8mm diameter as a mandrel instead of bail-making pliers. It will just be slightly more difficult since you will not have the jaws of the pliers to secure the wire while shaping it, but it is certainly much more economical. Repeat these steps with the other wire until you have 2 formed wires. Placing both formed wires on the 8mm jaw of the bail-making pliers, or your pencil or whatever, make the ear wires identical. Allowing for no less than 1.5 inches of ear wire, use your flesh cutters to snip both ends at once. And finally, take your metal file and smooth out the very end of the ear wires. For the record, you can just as effectively use a nail file. We're not trying to change the shape of the wire as much as remove any burrs or uneven surfaces that will make the ear wires uncomfortable or difficult to wear. The second type of ear wire that I'm going to show you is the wrapped loop, which I personally wholeheartedly prefer for reasons that I make abundantly clear in the lecture on eye pins. The steps to create a wrapped loop ear wire are exactly the same as the basic loop except for, yep, you guessed it, the loop. So obviously, we'll be starting with a wrapped loop instead of a basic loop. You will notice that the loop, once it's been wrapped, tends to lean in one direction. You will want to bend the wire in the same direction so the loop and the wire appear to be leaning into one another. Repeat all of the steps for the basic loop ear wire. And by all means, continue to experiment and embellish these 2 simple styles with your own unique designs.
Go, go, go!